Alright guys, what's happening? It's a beautiful Saturday, it's hot, it's summertime. So let's check out what's going on with our upcoming summer market. Oh, what a crazy grind this has been. June has been quite emotional, keeping them in check, so to speak, with altcoins and Bitcoin and over the overall structure of the market. Wasn't as fun as last month, but we're still hanging in there. All right, so let's check what Bitcoin is doing right here. So we got the 8-hour chart here. Bitcoin is still barely really trying to struggle to hang on to this mid-range line right here. I mean, overall, I mean, we're still putting in higher lows or lower highs, excuse me. So it's, I mean, look at these wicks right here. Look how much it is fighting to hold. I mean, this may catch another bounce right here. This would be good news, of course, for alts, as, I mean, it gives us a little bit more time to play alts. As long as we don't see any kind of major flash crash down here and then just break this bottom low range there, I think altcoins are still going to be fine to play for a little while. But as far as Bitcoin goes, we got a little bit of a falling wedge right there. You can, I don't know if you'd call that valid as I would this. A little bit of a descending triangle there. But given how this got bought up right here, and yes, we did get this one liquidy grab down here below that mid-range, and now we got all these wicks fighting to hold this mid-range. We may catch another pop, which I'd be okay with because I'm not ready for the market to die yet. I mean, that's a lot of bulls trying to fight that mid-range there. Again, back to 8-hour and not so much, but then again, this is Bitcoin and it can just kind of fight to hold that range, then get one last rally up even. Since we are still putting in higher low or lower highs, I don't know why I keep saying higher lows. Lower highs, I still don't see too much to really get excited about. Anything past 9.6, 9.8. That's if we even get this bounce. Now, if we lose this mid-range, if we fall below 9,200 again, and it doesn't show signs of pulling back up, then the market may be in a little bit of trouble, and we're going to revisit this 8,600 range. This would probably spook even the altcoin market. We may see some pretty significant pullbacks if we start testing that 8,600 range. And then if we test that range, I'm hoping for some kind of bounce. Just one more bounce, get us one more rally, one more alt rally up here to test that mid-range again and then fall. I think this is going to happen either way when we do lose that mid-range completely. But from the looks of those lower time frames, we may catch one more rally to 9.6. But on a macro level, yeah, not at all seeing anything bull. So if we go back to that 3-day even, yeah, I mean, there's nothing at all that says bullish here. Look, our 3 days already under bear. Our 7MA is kind of lagging right here. It doesn't quite have that full curl down. So it looks like we got a new 3-day candle this evening. You see the timer over here. It's like 2 hours and 20 minutes. So the same time we get a new daily candle this evening, we'll get a new 3-day candle as well. So it can catch one little bounce up and then drop it right back down within the next 3 to 6 days on that candle. So I think we're really running out of time. It's just a matter of what I don't want to see is I don't want to see this. Okay, so we had on that last major drop, we had one kind of floating bull candle, and it got kind of balled up here. And I really don't want to see that this is where we're at as well. And then within the next 2 hours, they just absolutely just murder this. I really don't want to see that. If this is going to start its descent, I'll just take it nice, slow, and controlled. And just snake its way down, going into mid-summer, late summer. And summers are usually not that great for altcoins. I don't know why. It's bad for altcoins. And I think somebody else shared that post as well. That somebody else had that same kind of thought process. So again, back here to 2 lower time frames, 2 hour. Look at this struggle here. I think that this possibly could, I'm hoping this could actually get one more rally. It's just something small, something slow, controlled. I don't want to see a big push like this because I think this push did push bullish push here on Bitcoin kind of sapped some altcoins down. So I don't want to see that. Slow and controlled up and then drop it down. But overall, macro level, guys, I am still fully bear. I mean, this again just really just does not scream anything bullish to me. And I can't believe I'm still seeing bullish charts. I can't believe there's still people out there thinking that we're just going to pump to 14,000 or whatever. I mean, I don't see it. Pretty bearish structure. Still looking overall for this target down here to test this trend line again around that 50. I might even catch a wick below like we did here. Might even come test this this support down here around 5,000, 5,200 maybe on a wick. But overall zone on this drop down somewhere in that mid 5,000 range. But I'd be open to a wick down there at 51, 5,200 or something. Okay, so dominance is really starting to piss me off. I really want this trend line to break. I mean, it's kind of riding it up here, and then it got a rally, but it was kind of weak because it didn't get over any major resistance right there. It failed and held under that resistance, and it's still low-key trying to hold on to that trend line, but it looks weak. I mean, if this rolls back any further, it'll lose that trend line, and we can have some more altcoin pumps right there, some more fun in the altcoins. But in order to do so, we need to get below that mid 65 range. I really want to see probably back around there and really get some confidence to break that trend line. So if that does, then our original plan of testing somewhere down here, let's just say about 64. Okay, so if we lose this trend line and lose this confluence here and we fall, then we might have another 3-4 weeks, maybe another month to play some altcoins, because altcoin setups on weekly still look absolutely incredible. There's a lot that still haven't pumped and had major runs yet, so there's still hope. But I'd be looking for some kind of test down here to this support on the next major Bitcoin move. Maybe it's the Bitcoin dump or something, and then we'll catch a pump back up here and back line test and reject back down. Oops. Because we now have, and I'm sure some of you guys have seen it too, we have some bullish monthly charts on altcoins. Now they are monthly charts, so that doesn't mean that on the next monthly candle here in about 2 weeks that they're all just going to moon. Within that next month, on that next monthly candle, we can see 2 to 3 weeks of altcoin pullbacks to kind of settle and consolidate, hopefully not make any new lows on altcoins, and then we'll have another round of some altcoin fun. Some of these monthly charts are starting to look really good. Okay, Ethereum, I mean, really kind of the same thing as Bitcoin. Range highs, range lows. That dip that happened a few days ago came and tested that support here off that previous high and held. So, I mean, it's really kind of the same story with Bitcoin. It's going to follow Bitcoin. Oops. Okay, so we might catch another little pop right here. Might catch another little poop. Okay, RSI is trending bull. Look at our RSI there. This is a 2-hour chart, by the way, guys. This is mid time frame for some scalps. OBV is trending bull. And it's really holding on to this support right here. Really trying to hold that range. So we might also get another rally. We could probably catch one more rally up there to test that previous high. Don't see anything over that 238 mark. That's of course if we break this wedge. It could very well fail again at the top of the wedge right there around 231, 232. But it, pretty good falling wedge right there, and it looks like it wants to try to catch that bounce. So if it does, I'd put a high target of retesting this broken support right here at 238. Now, if it flips it, then ETH goes full bull. It'd have to break that support and flip it, and then can test that, test the top of the range highs. But it doesn't look likely. So let's go look at its higher time frame charts. Okay, so again, look at that 7-day moving average. Hasn't quite rolled over yet. It's trying to. It's trying to roll over. So this does look like that it still has a little bit of hope to catch one more small rally. But still, look, you got 2-3 day candles right here under that 7-day moving average as resistance. So it can, as it's rolling over the next 3 to 6 days maybe, it can still possibly range up here under that 240 mark and under that 7-day moving average as resistance. But same situation as Bitcoin. I mean, it's going to do what Bitcoin does. Okay, so we got a high, we got a lower high, and another lower high. We got a low, a higher low. So if this is going to follow Bitcoin and a slow, hopefully controlled movement down, we're going to test that 125 mark again. Again, that's just hindsight right now. If this is going to put in another high or low somewhere up here and respect that trend line, that's about where I'd put it at. Let's see what the weekly looks like. No, that weekly looks like, I mean, that's a good bounce right there off the tip of that 7-day. That's pretty good momentum. Monthly looks great. This is Binance. Let me look at Bitstamp. You got more history. Okay. So monthly ETH is actually trending pretty bull. So we may, if this is the case, we may have to adjust where we are going to, and that's even kind of putting in an ascending triangle. So we may have to adjust where we might see that pull back to. It could be only as low as about 164 right here. Let me turn off that, oops, not the volume. Okay, we could possibly see here off the tops of those wicks and those wicks right there. Good little confluence nest right there. So it can pull back right there off of the monthly chart. OBV is dropping though, so might be careful there. So it can be slow and controlled, and maybe that's all it gets. And then it kind of snakes its way back up to test that ascending triangle. There's not enough chart history on this. That's a little bit better. Coinbase has more history than Bitstamp. Okay, so yeah, that is going to cross bullish. Look at all the nice supports right here above that 7-day moving average. So we may have to adjust what that 3-day says as far as a target. So we can probably put maybe another flip zone right here at that 178 mark that we mentioned. Okay, so I don't know if you guys caught that right there. If you saw where that 7-day monthly moving average was, the tip of it was right at 175, 178-ish, which is about right where we are right here on top of this support. And now look how that wick and this candle confluence and the tops of this confluence all meet that same price. So if we were to go back to that monthly chart, this red line, oops, nope, it's not. That was the weekly. What the hell time frame was that? I could have sworn we had a time frame that showed where that was. I don't know. So that is a possibility. With that monthly looking so bullish, we can wick down to retest that liquidity grab down there and still cross up bull. So we got 11 days left in this candle. So if that is the case, we could reset right there. Something like that, maybe. But that's a long ways off. So let's go USDT. Let's go back to that Binance chart we had. Okay, so again, as it looks now for a lower time frame, guys, looks like ETH could catch a little pop right here. Looks like it could catch a little bounce. I'd like to see it come up and test that 238, 240 range off of the previous broken support right there, and then fall once more. All right, so that's what that looks like. Okay, so let's go look at some altcoins. Alts are fun. Okay, so we missed a little bit. Let's see. We missed this bounce on Go last night. This is a good pullback here. Let's see. I think we all kind of got out somewhere. We scalped it up here in like the 150s, I think. We were looking for. Let's see. I think we had one right there at 136. We had two levels here that we were looking at for support for a rebuy. And it looks like, I don't know if anybody did reload or not. I didn't, because obviously whatever this pump right here was, I was asleep. And it didn't look that strong last night going to bed, because there was a bearish cross right there. You could see that one little bearish histogram. That's probably about when I went to sleep. And then, of course, I woke up to an hourly pump. So I missed a good 17% there, 20% almost. So about 60 to 80% profit on a missed play. I mean, it is what it is. It's a missed opportunity, no biggie. Could have even just held that bag instead of calling that scalp right there. And if I had done that, then I probably would have only captured that extra 7% move, 28% profit. I mean, that's just the name of the game. But the hourly does look like it's rolling back over. Okay, so our RSI is coming down for a reset. Our MACD is now coming back down for a reset, and our 7-day did roll right there on the hourly there. So now we still have this zone as a support. See how it built a base right here, built some candle structures here, built some candle structures here. Let's lower that a little bit. Okay, so we could be, if this is going to hold that support now, we could be coming back down to test it for the new weekly candle, and it can hold. If Bitcoin or if Dominance does something stupid, then we'll catch this down here a little bit lower in the 120s. But I don't see anything that's really signaling coming back down all the way to those all the way back down to the bottom. So it could, I mean, it could do this. I doubt it. I don't think it's gonna go all the way into the end of July here, just to test that trend line again. So let's work with this here. Let's just stick with this. Okay, so we are catching a pullback. It does look like it's pulling back some. The MACD is about to come back under for a reset, so it is just going to kind of work it, snake its way down. So let's be a little patient here and see if we can't re-grab here again in the low 140s. So let's move our drawing tool here and let's look at our weekly. Okay, so we got a good strong weekly candle, so that does lean in favor. That by tomorrow or something that we may see, or by the next weekly candle that we may see that pullback. So we are testing that top of that wick there, the bottom of that wick there, and some wick over here. So it's not a bad zone to see a pullback on the weekly candle. I don't see this going below 128 right here. Okay, see the tops of all of these wicks and candles there. That's a good support base to see a flip. I don't see it going that deep because, I mean, that would throw that into a really ugly weekly candle on the next candle. I don't see it happening on this candle. It'll probably happen on the next weekly candle. I don't see it going that deep, as it would probably take 2 more weeks to recover from a drop like that. So we want to see that 140 zone hold again, right there off the bottom of those candles and those wicks. That small little pullback would be good right here for the next weekly candle, and then catch another little pop right there. And that fits And that fits our little scenario of retesting that confluent zone right there that we just bounced that support from. So again, low 40s, we'll play that as our first place to watch for a pullback. So don't go and FOMO into this, because this does look like it's trying to roll over and the indicators are dropping. Look at the OBV trying to trend negative there. So let's be a little patient. Give this, another, I don't know, it looks like maybe another day for it to kind of wiggle its way back down and test that support, and then see if we catch another bounce going into the next weekly candle. Okay, so let's go. Strat. Nobody knows. Okay, so Strat again was another missed opportunity overnight. Look at this big volume candle right there. So this was our support target that we had called, and it hit pretty well, damn perfect. So that was a big bounce right there. Big volume candle, big bounce, 26%. So if anybody had caught that play, if anybody had buy set there, I mean, if you had 4x on that, you just made 100% profit just on this one little bounce that happened overnight. So again, it's the same situation. Look at the MACD trending bear overnight. So another great missed play right there for me. I didn't catch that, obviously. I didn't have any buys set because I don't. I mean that's just my strategy. I don't have buys set and then expect to catch some kind of bounce like that. I don't knife catch. I'm the kind of trader where, okay, if I'm going to expect this support zone, then I'm going to expect to see some consolidation first to confirm that that support is going to hold, and then buy. Because if there were to be a flash crash and that support were to break, then it comes down here, and now I'm sitting in a pretty big loss right there. So if anybody did have that as a buy or did catch that, I mean, that's a hell of a profit to wake up to, 100% gain. But it looks like it does coming back down. You can see that 7-day rolling over. You can see the MACD rolling back bear. You can see our OBV now trending again bear. Lower highs there. RSI is trending bear. So we can probably maybe expect to catch that pullback once more. So it was a missed play, missed bounce. Would have been some great profit, couple $1,000 profit to wake up to had I had some buys there. Same with Go. I mean, I could have woken up to about $5,000 profits if I had caught both of those bounces. So missed opportunity, no biggie. Okay, so I'm still expecting. We can maybe even put that back there too. So we might want to check again between 44 and 4,500 again for a buyback. So we'll just keep that on watch there. Now again, Strat on the weekly is another really good weekly setup. However, great rejection. That's about what you'd want to see on a rejection right there for a scalp anyway. So we played that one pretty well. Now, like Go, since this did reject at that weekly resistance, again rolling into a new weekly candle, we should expect that pullback probably right here again to, let's just say, that 144, 145 mark on the next weekly candle, and then we'll see, hopefully see that break. But it's got a really strong weekly uptrend. Okay, so once we get over that weekly resistance, once we get over this is an accumulation breakout point right here at 5,600. So what's keeping this whole structure down in accumulation. So once we break 5,600, I mean, it's pretty clear right here, and there's not a whole lot of resistance. There's, you know, pretty decent gap up here to about, let's just call that 11.7. Right there for 106% play, and you might catch some kind of pullback maybe right around there. So there's about another 55% play right there. Now, this is these are swing trade targets. So if you got a bag, or if you're looking to catch a bag, and we have 3-4 more weeks or so to play with altcoins, expect that to take 2 to 3, 4 weeks or so, another month, to get up there, because ZIL practically did the same thing. Okay, so we're probably right here on this candle for Strat, because look where that rejection point was for ZIL. Right there at the weekly resistance, holding the whole structure down. And then it probably, let me look at the pullback there on that weekly candle. And then the next weekly open got that break above that breakout point. And then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks to reach that upper level. So from that pullback, ZIL did 300%. Now I'm not saying Strat is going to do that. I don't know what Strat has in store as far as fundamentals, partnerships, whatnot. But this is practically almost the exact same scenario right here. Look at the nice volume candle. Great uptick in volume. So expect that pullback, and then we'll catch that rebuy right around where I'm expecting, between about 40, anywhere from 44 to 46. So we'll watch that hard to see if we catch that pullback. And then we should at least expect 100% push over the next 2-3 weeks there. With 4x leverage, that's 400% profit. Okay, so again, that's that pullback target. So we want to see somewhere between the bottom of this this little confluence and this flip again. So somewhere between 4450, or let's just call it 4400 and 4600. That's where we want to look to catch some buys, and then we swing it up. Okay, so let's look at Raven. Raven is another play. It's being heavily shilled. It's gotten a lot of volume lately. Now let's start looking at its weekly. Good weekly structure. Good first push on that candle. Missing our target by about like 3 or 4 Satoshi maybe up here for that first scalp target. But it still looks like it's in a pretty decent uptrend. Look at the OBV on the weekly, about to cross bullish. It has crossed bullish, let's see, since January. Okay, so we're about to cross bull here. A little bit of a pullback. So just like Strat, just like Go, drop that weekly candle on this candle and then open the next candle, and we should hold above the 220s there. I believe we should. There might be a little bit deeper, maybe to the mid 210s or so, but the weekly structure still looks good. 7-day moving average is going to come out from behind this candle and hopefully catch that next push up and catch that next next weekly candle as support. So for the hourly here, okay, I want to see us hold over the 220s here. I want to see this zone flip. This would be a good flip area. Where's my MACD? There it is. Okay, so again, this is only just an hourly, so it's not going to tell the whole picture. A little bit of a bullish divergence setting up right there. Low, lower low, and we're making a low and a higher low. Looks like the RSI is trying to do the same here too. Not quite confirmed yet though. So here's a low and a slightly higher low. I don't give much, I don't put much weight on a bullish divergence on lower time frames. They're just not that, I guess, solid of a foundation for me. So what I want to see or hope to see, I think our entries were here around the low to mid 230s, which is fine, something like that, and then push back up. And then again, worst case scenario, if the 220s don't hold, then we want to see the mid 210s hold. I mean, as it looks right now, the whole structure itself is only 15% off the bottom. So we're not that far from the bottom. So it's not a bad swing setup. Okay, so that, I mean, that's what I want to see for Raven. I want to see us hold over the 220s. And if there's a chance that it does pop back up here to the mid 230s, if you want to sell, because, I mean, look, this is now a resistance. So if it curls and pops back up here, it's still going to be considered a resistance until it breaks. So if it comes up here and if it starts to struggle and roll back over, you can sell and then reload on that dip. No foul, no problem there. For me, I'm putting this in as a swing trade though, because I like the weekly chart. I like that weekly structure. It may take, it may be, middle of next week or so before this starts to move again. I don't know. But it's getting pretty heavily shilled on Twitter, and I think there was like 1,000, 1,500 Bitcoin volume on it, right here on this candle or something. So it's got the volume, or maybe it was this one of these two. A lot of volume that was accumulating and loading right there. Okay, Cody, I don't know how you pronounce this. Somebody asked about it. Does KuCoin have more chart history? KuCoin's got a lot of chart history. I mean, that's a pretty solid setup. Ooh. I mean, I can't lie. That's a pretty solid setup right there. I mean, look at this. You can eyeball that and see that's a good, strong respect of the trend line. No volume though. There's like dick for volume. Okay, there's your first resistance. That's kind of obvious. Top candle there meets the top of the candle there, reaches the tops of those candles there. That's an obvious, very clear first resistance. So we can't consider any upper targets unless it breaks and flips that resistance. Otherwise, it's just going to kind of spitter spatter and then come back down once more. Pull a distribution pattern right here, kind of like it did right here. But so far, I mean, it looks pretty strong. So if it can even... No, I don't want to say that looks like an ascending triangle. I mean, there's not much to go off of here. No, I don't like that. I don't like that as an ascending triangle. That looks retarded. Okay, so it is testing the resistance there. Let's go look at Cody's books. What's Cody got on the books? See, look, this is what I'm talking about on these monthly charts right here. Look at this cross up on the Binance chart for Cody. What does RVN show for a monthly? They seem to show them a lot different. So RVN is not quite, it's got to get over this moving average right here. So it rejected damn near right at the bottom of that moving average. So when Raven, for example, flips to, let's just call it 270, gets above this moving average right here and flips 270, I mean, it's gone. Let's look at Go. Go. See, that's what I want to see right there for Raven. Look at that. That is beautiful. That Go looks like a fantastic, fantastic swing trade. Same for Strat. Look at that, flipping that on. This is this is weekly. So yeah, flipping that on the weekly. You can then there's our target underneath that moving average right there, catching that confluence zone at about 12,000 sats. But we were looking at Cody. I wanted to see the order books. Oops, maybe that was too far. Okay, so it looks like we got one little push wall right here. Trying to push it into these sell walls. Not enough support to break this 4,000. That's a lot sitting there up there at the, what is that, 400 Satoshi. That's a good ways off though. So I mean it could push into the 300s there. Okay, so we saw stack sales up there to retest that wick at 400. So if I'd be out by 378 if it can flip this 300 zone right here. So that's got a good 35% left in it. Now if it did this, then I could consider calling this an ascending triangle. I'd call that an ascending triangle if it flipped that 300 right there and pushed up to that top. Where's my triangle pattern? I can work with that. Hold on, let me look at Bitcoin again. I think, yep, I just got some whale sniper alerts of shorts being liquidated. So this is that little pop I was talking about that we're going to catch right here. So I still think we're going to catch a low time frame pop right here on Buttcoin. Maybe test that 9,600 range again, and that's going to be our resistance. I don't see anything above 9.8 breaking the range highs. Okay, so back to Cody. Okay, so for Cody, Cody's got a flip 300 here, and I'd set that target under 400. I'd probably be out by 370 or so. Okay, Contentos, or however you pronounce that. I don't know when Moon. I don't know. When Lambo. Well, I guess that depends on what coin you're in for Lambo. Okay, so Contentos. Oops. Cos. Not too shabby on the books right there. Look at the enormous amount of bid support there at 30. I mean, at from 80 and 90 Satoshi. Nothing right there holding it back at 100. And then it's got a good fair amount up into 30. But this is an extremely low cap coin here. Oops, nope. Well, somewhere on here it shows you what the damn market cap and crap is. Hold on, let me look on my phone. Okay, so Binance has Contentos at a 12 million market cap, and it's only got 1.3 billion coins circulating and a 10 billion max supply. So they got plenty of reserves to pump it and then start dumping coins into the market to suppress the price back down. But I don't care about when they start dumping it. I just want them to pump it first. pretty strong weekly there. It's got to flip this 103, 104 point right here. So I want to see and hope to see, because as it's looking, I mean, there's between 100 and 103. I mean, that's pretty much all that's sitting there, kind of holding this thing down. Behind it, it's quite literally nothing up until at least testing the previous highs up here. So it's got some potential if it can flip this 103 mark, and then we catch that 30-40% push in it. MACD trying to cross up bull right here. Look at the OBV trying to get back up bull too. Look like it's trying to, maybe. But I'm looking at that MACD right there too. Good respect of a trend line. So just break it, flip it, and then we're off. That's what I want to see. I think they've got something going on with like the Samsung TV thing, kind of like Theta did. I think it's kind of already been widely rumored, but like Theta, I don't think they came out with any actual official news yet. I'd like to see push all the way back up here to 171. That'd be freaking phenomenal. That'd be a good push. If you guys got some requests, throw out your requests so we can look at whatever coins you guys want looked at. Let me see. Let me go to our alt requests. Rob had asked about STX on dollar pair. Ooh, that looks rough. That looks very rough. That's a heck of a range. So look at the range highs up here. Met some previous resistance confluence, and then the support also is meeting historical support. Well, that's a heck of a range. Let's go and confirm off the daily. Daily looks to be in downtrend. 2-day is rolling over. That looks pretty bare. Bam, you got bear cross right there and a MACD bearish histogram right there. It looks like it's trying to trend down. So once that breaks 13.5, that's going to be pretty well game over. And I'd probably catch a buy back around about 11 cents. Alright, well, let me look at these other requests. Okay, so Rob, you were looking at the 4-hour. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty well looking like Bitcoin and ETH. I mean, this could test that range lows and maybe catch one more rally before it drops to kind of catch up with that 2-day time frame that's going under bear. I mean, this doesn't look like a trade I'd take, period. Because if it breaks that, I'd buy the support down here. But only if it builds another kind of rally base right here to catch a pop, then I'd only buy it there. But it's kind of bleh. That's about 12% right there. Cycoin. Okay, so Psycoin, most no doubt, reached a great first resistance. I mean, this was a solid run. 170% off of the bottom, off January's bottom. But if we went from April's bottom at about 18 sats, we'll call that May. Still about 150%. Good push right here. Good run. Look at the 12 hours trying to roll right there. So I think it's low-key looking like it's trying to distribute. Then it's just a matter of support, so probably around 34. If this is going to pull a ZIL, and if this is going to keep the run going, it does not need to go below 34. So you can catch another push. This does look like a distribution right there. 8 hour already went under. 2 day still shows, that kind of shows a little bit of struggle. Damn, that's tough. That's a tough one to call there, guys. 2 days still trending pretty bull. And so are the other macro levels. So it may not be much of a pullback at all. So this has got 4 whole days before the next candle. So again, it could pull back to that 34 to 36 range and flip this here. I mean, the overall trend is still bull. You can see the histogram, I mean the MACD kind of hugging those histogram lines there. So there's not a lot of space to trigger that run is over and coming for a correction. Let me see if I can find one. Okay, so see, like here, see how overextended the MACD lines are from the histogram, and then it starts to show that weakness, that separation when they're kind of close together like this, that still shows that the trend is not over. So again, here, it's still kind of hugging those histograms, so it still looks like it's got some in the tank. Maybe just on some lower time frames it's going to pull back, but the weekly still looks incredibly freaking strong. So that still puts our weekly targets up there at 72 with a real high swing target over maybe the next, I don't know, month or two, up to about 112. So those targets still stand. It's just like that 12-hour and 8-hour chart that show that there might be that pullback to 34, 36. So you still got quite a bit in the tank, even from those levels. And of course, you can't ignore that volume. That is just some sick volume right there, loading up into that push. So I have very little doubt. I have very little doubt that this is over. I'm almost fairly confident that if Bitcoin behaves nicely, if dominance behaves nicely over the next, we can call this next month, maybe next 2 months, it can reach that 112 target zone. So if you guys are in, I know a lot of you guys are in down here in kind of the mid 20s. If you guys are still in swinging that, let that shit ride. Because only if it broke below 30 would it spell trouble. Just look at that there. That's your pretty well your last line of defense, or I mean, it might as well go back down to where you bought it at. Just look where 30 extends over to. So if it broke 30, then it would fall back under this whole range pretty much that held the accumulation structure under, and it would pretty well rule that dead. So I don't see anything deeper than 34 to 36. Psycoin still has a incredibly strong chart. That's a weekly, 2 week, incredibly strong 2 week candle. Look at that volume on the 2 week. Trend still looks pretty strong. So you guys should bank some pretty good profit. And if some of my bags ever pump and get me the hell out of them, like Theta or Icon, if those ever pump and make me some profit or whatever, I'll dump that into Cycoin too and ride it with you guys. BRD. I don't know what Bread has got going on up its sleeve. That's a big volume candle there too. Bread. Okay, so first thing, it's important to note, let's see, we got 2 more days. Okay, so it's important to note that rejection right there. That rejection did reject right off of that 7-day moving average. So all candles, all price action candles beneath the 7-day moving average is still a bearish downtrend. So what you would hope to see is the 7-day not dip a little bit further over the next 2 to 4 weeks and then push up. You want to see some good strong price action and it curl up where it is, and then you want to see the next 2-week price candle above it like that. See how that came out from behind that candle and now it's above this candle is above that 7-day as support. You can even see it wick right off the tip of that 7-day as support right there. You see that wick and that bounce. So that's a good strong weekly push. And then the next weekly you still can come out and round out for the 2-week to catch up. So that would mean that this is your support level that you don't want to see fall under. You don't want to see price get back underneath that 7-day moving average or beneath about 12,000 Satoshi. And then look how beautifully that matched up. See the support base built here off of some previous confluence right here. And that's how that works. Okay, so now that we're down on a lower time frame, OBV is trending bull. RSI is kind of trending bull, but it's also making lower highs as well. Damn. Okay, so this is your range. See that? How quickly we threw up that channel? Rejection off of some previous confluence right there. So this can very well just kind of chop right here and stay within that candle, or not within that candle, within this channel, and still hold that support and flip it right there and stay above about 1320. I mean, it can do that. It can get that reset right there. So here's a low, here's a higher low, and this would put that another higher low as well. So I don't see too much wrong with this so far. 6 hour going under. 7-day rolling over. So there's first support. And then of course, obviously this gray box here is second support. So that's going to be that's really going to be dependent on what Bitcoin is going to do. Whether if that's going to be a good play or not, or it still looks like a good play on macro levels, but you may be swinging that for a while if it loses this 1320 support. Because if it loses this 1320 support, it's more than likely going to go back down here to test around 1200 to 1250. And if it does that, then you're going to be stuck in that for 2 to 3 weeks. Oh, that just looks ugly, really. All right, let's go look at WAN. WAN is another one that has a good, strong, so far, good, strong weekly trend macro level. So again, like I showed you with Strat and Go, pushed up and tested some pretty heavy confluence on the last weekly candle, and then the next weekly candle, which is the one that we're currently on. So this is about what I would expect and hope to see on Go and Strat. On the next weekly candle is a drop candle to regather up some support right there. And then, so it might, Strat and Go could, for all we know, could just kind of chill out next week. And then the following week, which would be first week of July, catch some fireworks. So maybe we might catch some good 4th of July fireworks. Let's see WAN on. Let's see what WAN looks like on Binance's. I mean, it's got a good strong uptrend. So that candle is holding above that pink moving average, and I think that's the weekly 100-day moving average. So it's holding above that as support. Monthly, not too bad of a monthly start to that candle. So we may be riding this one out for the remainder of the month. Nice candle. So again, we may be riding this one out for the remainder of the month, just like I showed you with bread, and the 7-day come out behind it, and the next monthly candle open above it and catch a push. So WAN is definitely a swing trade for me, unless market cow. So they still got these supposedly dropping between now and the next 11 days. So this could, any more bullish news could, could put in a spike, a pump. Let's go to hourly. So this is what I was wanting to see for Go. Nice little support base here. Okay, so it's built a support base, tested that support and held, and now it's holding again. So this is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see, come up and then catch that pop there. So this is what I wanted to see for Go, but instead, Go bounced here and then just went all the way up here, and now it's trying to come back down. But it is what it is. So as long as WAN holds this 2300 zone, I think it's okay. I don't see anything really below, 2000 or 2100. That's a pretty good drop right there. Unless Bitcoin does something stupid. But if Bitcoin does something stupid and Dominance does something stupid, this would be a pretty heavy zone right here to buy. In which case I'll add to a swing. But I'm swinging this regardless. If this is going to liquidate me, it quite literally has to come all the way down here to the bottom. Let me double check that thought though. No, my stop on WAN is at 1900, so it would have to come all the way back down and test the bottoms of this zone here, and that's a pretty steep drop. If it drops that far, that whole run is just dead. So swing play from me. VRA, what? VRA. Veracity? I've seen this one shield a lot. Obviously no chart history. Hitbit, a little bit more on Hitbit. That's pretty damn strong. This looks like Tomo. Well, that's what Veracity is going to look like. That's your structure. Here's a low, here's a higher low, here's a high, lower high, so it's kind of made this nice little wedge. And it looks like it's going to push bullish, might catch a wick up there to about 1270 something. And then watch to see a rejection point and a pullback, maybe back around right where the price is. And see if it builds another base support and then catches another pop. So 2 levels of resistance I'd be looking at. Right here off of that wick and that wick, which would match that trend line at about 1109, 1110 or whatever. Or it could push all the way up to the top of that zone right there at 1270. So, I mean, it looks strong. The trend looks strong. So that's about another... see, 20 to 40% right there. Pretty good looking strong trend. Let's drop down to other time frames. Okay, so yeah. So here's a high that met a previous high there. And it looks like it broke it. So, I mean, now it just has to confirm and flip it. So far, it's a pretty decent, strong uptrend. I mean, yeah, I mean, that doesn't look too bad. Now, it's on HitBit or HitBTC or whatever and Qcoin. So, I don't know about the liquidity for all I know, because those exchanges suck as far as liquidity. So, I don't know, $10,000 for all I know can dump this shit all the way back down to the bottom. So if there's some kind of big dump or something, I don't know. ZIL. We waited forever to short this damn thing and we didn't. We even called that 300 mark. Look at that, that 300 zone. We were waiting on 300 to short it and we didn't short it. God almighty. This was 70%, guys. This was a 70% short if we had caught that short at 300. Because I think DCX only allows 2x on a ZIL short. And we saw it coming. We knew it was coming. We had that target for 300 to match this support, I'm sorry, this previous resistance zone right here, this resistance top. We were waiting on it and we just didn't pull the trigger. So that is pretty well the last line of defense there. If it loses this support, I'd be looking at 150. And that's a pretty strong drop. Yeah, I wouldn't buy that yet. Everything still looks in a pretty good downtrend. Now, there might be a low time frame pop. There might be just to catch a relief bounce or something for a quick scalp. But then, you know, 230 is going to be your resistance, and then it may just keep on trending down. But I wouldn't consider buying it for a swing or a long bag or whatever until that MACD rolls back and consolidates and you start seeing some of these pink histograms right here, and then rolls back to curl back up. Otherwise, the downtrend is quite well intact. Damn. Oh my lord, 2 days about to go under bear. So I think it will catch another bounce to that 230 zone. Yeah, look at the Look at the RSI right there, hitting some serious oversold. Look at the MACD, it's trying. It's getting a little overextended on the bear side, so it should hold this 200 area. What is this? Maybe 195. I'd wait to see if it does something like that, and then you can catch a long scalp up to about 225, 230, and then dump your bags, because I mean the overall trend is still bear. So I'd watch to see how that develops, and if it catches a relief bounce, I mean that's a good pop, especially if you got some leverage on it. That's easy 50% profit right there on a bounce. Right, see, okay, so ETH is trying to catch that bounce we talked about. Bitcoin still trying. Go's coming down now, as we showed. Strat still kind of hanging in there. Raven, look at that 3 candles right there here on the hourly, all matching that same price, so it might catch that consolidation and might catch that relief bounce back up to the 230s, as we called. Cody's good. Kos is just kind of doing whatever. And then, of course, WAN. What else, guys? Anything else? Because if not, we are at the end of the show. You ain't got to go home, but you can't stay here. No, I did not do ICX. So let me look at ZIL. Let me steal your chart. ICX is a real pain in the ass, let me tell you. I mean, it's really trying right here. It is really hanging on to this support right here. I mean, that is flagging. That is a bull flag. I mean, I'm just waiting on it to catch. Let me check the order books on my phone here. And the order books are very well in the bull's favor. There is quite literally one sell wall holding this thing down, and it's right there at right there in that center. That is it. That's all that's holding it down. So up to 3,700, 3,800. I mean, it's fine, but there's nothing holding it back from that pop. I mean, good bids, good bid support, and just nothing. Not even a full Bitcoin wall to send this back up. So that's a little bit of, I guess, a little bit of confidence maybe that they're still trying to hold this up above this flag zone. I'm still looking at this 5-day. Please don't. Please get back up there. I mean, it's got a lot of different mixed signals. I think we already looked at STX, Rob. Oops. Yeah, I need Icon to quit bullshitting here. I need it to get back up here at least to, 3,700 or something, so I can get some kind of profit. STX USD again. Yeah, I don't know where you were when we did that. I mean, this looks kind of rough. Let me zoom out there. So we got a top here and a top that matched a top there, so that's a double top there. We could even call that triple top for matching an historical resistance confluence zone over here. At the same time, this resistance and this resistance was now flipped as support right here. So we're kind of stuck in this range. I think we looked at the 2-day. Yeah, the 2-day did cross bear. You can see that drop candle there. So once it breaks this support here at 13.3, you'd be looking at around 11 cents for your buyback. For low time frame, it is and does look like it's trying to catch a little pop. But yet mid-range is probably going to be your target around maybe just shy of 15 cents. In other words, it looks like ass. Does that help? Sorry to put that so bluntly, but this kind of chop range crap is just horrible. It's really horrible to really try to get a gauge on. I mean, you can probably catch a long at the bottom of the support there, if the indicators match a bounce there, or you can catch a short up here at the range high if it even gets there. I mean, it looks kind of just hideous. Oops, I didn't mean to. Sorry, Vinny, I didn't mean to hide your reply there. I meant to hit show, so I don't know what you said. Yeah, should have started with looks like ass and saved some time. Okay, what else, guys? What else you got? Let me show you guys one thing here. I know I was following one for some time now, and I had this mapped out. I mean, it did not break down. It did hold its support, and I know everybody's kind of bugging. If they're in a coin that is kind of dropping, kind of pulling back a little bit. I was in this at 48 sats for I don't know how long, maybe a few days, and it even came all the way down here to 42 on a wick a few days ago, and then it tested 44, which I think shook out Caden, and I think Rob even dumped it around here too or something. And then I got tired of holding it too because it wasn't pushing, and that's a 48% pop right. I mean, a 13% pop, so it would have been almost 48%, 50% profit on that bag right there. So had I just been a little more patient, I'd be in profit rather than breaking even. I mean, this really this one pisses me off. This one hurts, guys, because I was in this for all of these candles, at least the last week or so. I've been holding this damn thing in profit, in loss, in profit, in loss, and now 50% profit I missed because of this garbage here. So if you're kind of bugging about Raven or about Coase or Cody or whatever other coin that you're in, I mean, yeah, you got to have patience with these coins, especially if it's got a good bottom structure, it's got a good low cap, good supply or whatnot, it's got some hype, it's got some momentum coming or whatever. You kind of just have to be patient. Hold on. You're still in one? What do you mean you're trying to get out? I thought you got out like a couple days ago when you said you got tired of holding this thing with like Troy. I mean, it still has a first target of 66, which I'm going to be really pissed if it does hit, because if from 48 to 66 is 37% profit, that would have been 130% profit had I just held it a little bit longer. I mean, that's going to hurt. selling that at break even, and it makes me want to FOMO back in and buy now that it's got some momentum, and it's got some good bid support now, up to 50. Bids are coming in, so this coin can kiss my ass, because all of my bags right now are a little underwater. I've been holding Theta and Icon for probably 2 weeks now, maybe. So I'm really banking on Coase to show up and play ball with me. Really hoping RVN, since it's gained a lot of hype on Twitter or whatever, to pull through. Also, kind of pissed I missed this go bounce last night, but I mean, it is what it is. Later, yes. I can do some Neo later. No biggie there. Okay. Well, I guess that's it for me, ladies and gentlemen, or whatever. So we'll continue to monitor these. It is Father's Day weekend, so I will have family in Sunday. So don't expect me to be available Sunday. So please, see your Diamond members. Come on, baby, drop. Give us some more alt plays. Drop that and break that damn wedge, please. Then thank you. So yeah, I will largely be unavailable on Sunday. Oh, you're still in SDX trying to get out. Okay, I was about to say I'd be pissed if you jinxed me and said you were still in one. Well, you do have a small. What a jerk. 66 is still, that 60 to 66 range is still target for one. So I think the wife is not working tonight. And she wants to do date night. I don't know what we're gonna do. Dinner or something. I don't know. Watch a movie or whatever. Tomorrow night she will be working, which means midday tomorrow I'll probably catch a nap, so then I can stay up with you guys all night for those of you that are on the other side of the world, and don't really get a lot of your questions and whatnot answered. So I'll be up all night tomorrow night. If you guys got any questions and whatever. But Sunday I will be probably completely offline. Alright, I'm out of here. I'm going to go take a quick nap and I'll catch you guys in a little bit.